Okay.
Hey, Stephanie.
Hey.
How's it going?
It's going good.
Good. All right, so I've looked over the lesson plans that you submitted, and I just want us to talk about in detail what you're going to be teaching tomorrow during small group.
Okay.
So what standards are you teaching during the time in which I'm going to come observe you?
We are going to be doing 6R11,
Okay, which
is plot.
Okay.
Specifically, character interaction and their response to conflict, internal and external response.
Okay, external and internal. All right, so what have you done in the past that relates to the standard?
We've used our Savas textbook.
Okay.
Also, students have practiced this in small group.
Okay. So if you had to tell me about the number of times that you've practiced this standard, would you say 1, 2, 3, 5, 6? Like what? How many times?
This particular standard, I would say at least 6 or 7 times.
Okay, so it's a good review.
Later in the year, yes.
Okay. So what do you expect to see students doing in relationship to the goal?
I expect to see them obviously reading the
Okay.
passage. And then tomorrow, because this is the we do section, I expect to see them working together to answer questions during turn and talk.
Okay.
And afterwards, they're going to do the I do section independently, where they demonstrate how well that they understand
Okay.
on their own.
So I know you talked about the reading passage and focusing on plot. In the lesson plans, it also said that you would work on fluency and vocabulary.
Yes.
So can you tell me more how you're going to do vocabulary before you get to
Okay,
the skill?
so that is basically what they do whenever they first come to my station. Is they're going to get this this task card, and so it has these questions like on FAST.
Mhm.
So it's kind of a two in one situation. So it helps them practice these question types, but then it also goes along with the standard with the same 6R11 character interaction and advancing the plot and all of that.
What have you noticed about kids when they do this kind of question? Do they understand how to fill in?
No, they. I've had students bubble in all the bubbles.
Okay, so they're not understanding how to do.
They are not. They're not
choice.
understanding that it's just this one line at a time.
Okay.
So
what have you done to like help them? Like you see them getting it wrong, and then you're like, oh, hold up.
Yes, hang on a minute. I've actually taught them to obviously read the passage, and then they read each answer choice. They need to read all the answer choices because some of them may kind of go with more than one character, but there's only one answer. And so I've taught them to read all of the answer choices and then find the one that is best suited for each. And so you'll hear me say that a lot. Which one goes best with that character?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So yeah, we definitely had that happen today. Also, isolating it with a piece of paper, for the low group is just, okay, this is one question. This is another question. This is another question, because they get overwhelmed.
That's a really good instructional strategy, teaching them how to do that, because like you said, they think they can just bubble in whatever they want.
Yes,
right?
they just get overwhelmed. It's a lot.
Okay.
It's a lot going on.
And tell me a little bit about the vocabulary that you practice with them.
So the vocabulary, today they got the direct instruction portion, which is they just got the definitions. So now they know the words and they know the definitions. So tomorrow it's going to be kind of more of a we do together kind of situation where they're going to put this into practice. So we have these sentences where they can use the words in context, and the only thing about this is that this takes a really long time to do all
there
of these.
12 words.
There's 12 words and 12 sentences, and we only have 20 minutes in a station.
So suggest chunking. So
Yes.
if you chunk, how many questions do you think would be reasonable for you to do before you actually get to the focus skill of plot?
Between 3 and 4.
Okay, that sounds good. I
Between
like
3
that.
and 4. And so what we should see them doing here is they'll read the sentence, and then they should go back and look for clues
Okay.
in the definitions that they've been given already.
Okay. Now, would they be working on this with a partner or by themselves? It's going to be independent?
So
or-
the first one, usually the first one I work very closely with them on. And then the second one, like the second question, they'll work with their partner.
Okay.
And then the last two, or maybe the last one, they'll do on their own.
Gotcha.
I'm like, okay, you know what to do. Now do that last one on your own. So, and I know that's, that's a lot of switching just for 3 questions, but that's that is what we do. So,
Good. All right.
all right.
So what instructional strategies will you use to help students meet the standard of like practicing CLOT with character interaction, external and internal?
Okay, so today we read Quarterly because
Okay.
this was the modeling, where I do like
Yep.
and then tomorrow what I expect to see them doing is reading this with a partner.
Okay.
They're going to turn and talk about what they think. I should see them flipping back and referencing their notes that they took. They should mark and annotate the text, and they need to write their responses to the 2 questions. So this will be an example of we do.
Okay,
where they're
so
working
questions
together.
1 and 2?
Yep.
Okay.
Section A. And then section B is going to be you do, where they are working independently. They're going to read this quietly to themselves. We should see them marking the text,
Okay.
doing the same strategies, and then answering those questions.
Okay.
So,
I like it.
yep.
I like it. I like the way that you're using the we do
Mhm.
together for them to build confidence, and then just so actually you can see what they know, right, whenever we analyze it after the lesson.
Right.
Is there anything specifically that you would like for me to look for while I'm observing?
I just want you to see them referencing the notes that they take and using good partner discussion. When they work independently, they should do all those same strategies. They're just doing them by themselves. Rather than using partner discussion, they're still referencing their notes on their own, going back, and using the tools that they've already created for
Okay.
themselves.
So when I come in, I'm going to be watching you do small group,
Mhm.
and so you have a mixed ability class.
Yes.
So the group that you want me to really observe, is it your lowest of your low, your highest of your high, or your middle?
It's in the middle.
Okay.
In the middle. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I think that's going to give you, because I use in my lowest group, it tends to take a lot longer to get through all of these things. Like we may not get to all the things.
Mm-hmm.
In the mid group, we tend to get through all the things, and it takes the entire 20 minutes. It's really indicative of, okay, we've got these 3 parts and we're able to get through all of them. The high group, I typically have to add something else in. I can, we don't do this.
Yeah.
We'll do this, and then we get through this, and then I'm adding something else in.
Because they're to differentiate.
They can. It's like that, boom,
Mhm.
and they're done with the whole thing. So I just wanted you to get a good, a view of all 3 components with a group that sits for the 20 minutes. And,
Yeah. Sounds good. It sounds like you have a great plan.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. If you think of anything else that you need help with, like if you think of something tonight and you're like, oh, Amanda, I really want to try this. What do you think? We can talk tomorrow morning. And
Okay.
but it sounds like you got a great plan, and
All
I
right.
can't wait to observe and
All right.
see how it goes.
All right. Thanks.
Awesome.